Wrapping it up on Sports Bit. Betting Insight today, Pauly and Teddy. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood there. What's with the sweater? Where's the nice shirt?
It's freezing in Vegas, man. All of a sudden, we were in fall. We were in fall. All of a sudden, between last night and today, it became winter. So, I figured I'd Mr. Rogers it up every once in a while. You know,
You're from Michigan.
Instead of wearing a jacket.
You're from Michigan. You think it's cold? Come on. All right, here we go.
By the second year I lived in Las Vegas, and let me preface this by saying I love the fact on this show we never talk about bullshit. I don't talk about my kid. I don't talk about my life. We don't talk about the weather. We talk about sports. But I will say this much. When you move to Vegas, by about the second year you're here, you can't go back if you're from up north. It's just too cold. You're not used to it anymore. You know, I went back I think the third year, and I froze my ass, Paul.
And that was it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, your blood thins.
I hear you. All right, 2 games left. Live odds, sportsbookreview.com. Ohio State at Michigan State. Buckeyes 22, 53.5 the total. The position, they're okay. Just went out, probably make the playoffs, although who knows with these bozos on the committee. They could get TCU'd like 2 years ago. But they play number 3 next week with Michigan at home, so they should be fine. Almost an identical situation this week a year ago. They just needed to win. They were laying 16.5 at home against Sparty. Bad weather, backup quarterback. Whoops, they fell asleep. Elliott ripped the coaching staff, and they got beat at home.
Yeah, they sure did. And the key to that game, and the way Michigan State was able to pull off that upset, they didn't allow the Buckeyes, their athletes, to get in the open field at all. And that's the key again this year. When Ohio State gets their athleticism, gets their athletes into space, doesn't matter who they're playing. You know, Sparty's not stopping them. Nobody's stopping them. JT Barrett. He's only thrown 4 picks all year. 23-4 touchdown interception ratio. Very impressive. More than 2,200 passing yards and more than 600 rushing yards with 9 rushing touchdowns. You got Mike Weber, you got Curtis Samuel. It's big play weapons for the Buckeyes out of the backfield. And, these are elite level athletes. That's something that Michigan State just doesn't have. And defensively, Michigan State hasn't been able to stop guys like this all year. And they're also missing one of their key cogs, or could be missing one of their key cogs this weekend on the defensive side.
Yes, Malik McDowell's health. Check that. Per coach Mark D'Antonio, defensive tackle is either going to start or miss the game altogether. They removed him from the depth chart because of an ankle injury. So whether or not the lineman is able to play could have a huge impact. And listen, it's been a disappointing season. It's been a debacle for Michigan State. They can make up for it with just 1 win here and salvage the season at least if they can upset Ohio State for the second year in a row. And just like last year, Teddy, weather could be a factor again.
Well, yeah, no question. Mark D'Antonio, it's been a disaster for Michigan State this year. They salvaged their season with an upset here. It's a very dangerous mindset for a team with pride, but don't underestimate the potential loss of McDowell, though. We're talking about a preseason All-American, a consensus first-round NFL draft choice. Ohio State's running game is impressive as hell. When you take out a guy like McDowell from the middle of that Michigan State defensive front, that's not a good matchup for the Spartans. And, of course, as you mentioned, weather a factor last year, we're talking about the early forecast. Cold rain, temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s, wind gusts that could be in the 20s. Check those forecasts this week. As I said a few moments ago, it turned to winter in Vegas overnight last night. That front's moving east. It's expected to affect games in Indiana, in Michigan, and throughout the upper Midwest on Saturday. You can make good money in college football just following weather forecasts at this time of the year. You know what to do. You bet those totals under earlier in the week, and then figure out if you want to hold it or bet it back the other way later in the week. But pay attention to those forecasts. Not always easy to cover as 3 touchdown favorites, even in revenge, when the weather is downright nasty.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.